Hello everyone, welcome back to my little corner of the internet. I'm glad you're here with me on my journey of getting in shape physically, mentally and emotionally. From the outside it seems like weight loss is my main goal, and it is in a way, but also I'm working heavily on feeling better mentally and emotionally. And my weight is deeply connected with a lot of trauma that I experienced in my past. And so I'm not only trying to get rid of weight, but I'm also trying to overcome trauma. I think research shows that there's a connection between trauma and overweight, and if you want to look into it, the science is out there. But in this video right now I just want to share a little bit of what happened to me and what I think in my life led to me being so overweight right now. When I was born, my father was already married to another woman. He was like 35 years old, and he had a son, cute little boy. And my mom was 19 years old, and she was deeply in love with my father, even though he was married. And she wanted me, so it was not an accident. She wanted to have me. But since ever I was born, I felt like me coming into this world brought problems to other people. So obviously my father's wife was not very happy. My mother's brother, my uncle, he was very unhappy that his 19-year-old sister is suddenly pregnant or gave birth. And my grandparents, my grandma and my grandfather, they lived in very conservative circles, and so all their friends were like, ooh, making clear to show their disapproval. So it was, I felt like me being born in this world brought me in a position of defensiveness right from the beginning. And even though especially my grandma was a super stable person in my life, she was always there for me, always supportive. I still felt like I had to work extra hard. I had to be extra nice to deserve my spot in life. My father, he's dead now. That makes it so much easier for me to talk about him now, because I don't feel any need to be loyal to him anymore. I feel now that he's dead, I can talk freely about him and openly. I always fought for his love, and I always tried very hard to make him love me. And with his words, he was always telling me, yeah, Angela, I love you, you're my daughter, I love you. But his actions never followed through. He never married my mother. In the end, he got a divorce from his wife, but married another woman and not my mom. And in total, he had, let me count, 5 or 6 children from various women. So this means right now I have 2 half brothers in Sao Paulo, Brazil, 1 half sister who is only 6 months younger than I am, by the way. She's German, but she lives in Canada now. And I have 2 older half brothers who live in Germany. So my father has left his mark all over the world, obviously. And he has made his mark in my life too. All of his children tried to deal with him differently. Like one of my brothers, he's heavily drug addicted now, unfortunately. The other brother, he ended all contact with my father. My half sister, she distanced herself physically and mentally from our father. She moved from Germany to Canada and is living somewhere in the Canadian wilderness now without contact to anyone in the family. And my 2 Brazilian half brothers, they were young. I mean, they are much younger than I am, and they had to struggle through the fact that my father passed away in the end when they were still young. I think, I don't know, 6 and 8 years old. So they have their own issues to deal with. And me, I always try to be loyal. I always try to be supportive. I was always the one who had contact with him, who contacted him, who reached out to him. And when he ended up in prison for a while, it was me who went there and visited him, and I was the one who was taking care of him while he was in prison. Oh, so it's a very complicated background that I'm coming from. And at the same time, I tried to stay in school, and I stayed in school, and I tried to be like a good student, and went to law school and tried to do all the right things. But I never really learned that I have value without doing anything, without supporting anyone, without being there for anyone. And I never really learned to just focus on myself. So, and for me, the quickest way to feel better was, and still is, to feed myself, to give myself food, to put carbs into my system, and lots of carbs. And so that's why I'm thinking I will only be able to lose my weight if I recognize my own value, and if I overcome, and if I make peace with the craziness that my father's life was. I'm not even talking about my mom now because she's still alive, and I'm thinking it's not my place to talk about things here on the internet. She's okay. I have a good relationship with her, but still there are issues too. I mean, she was 19 when she gave birth to me, and it always felt like I'm her sister. And then my mom suffered from panic attacks herself for many years, and I was always the one who was trying to calm her down. So I'm very good at calming other people's nervous system down, at making other people feel comfortable and at peace. And you can wake me up in the middle of the night and tell me, Angela, there's a person in need, there's a person in emotional need, can you please help us calm her down and make her feel better? And I can do it easily, no problem. But as I said, taking care of my own emotions and my own feelings, this is something I never really developed very well. That's why now on my weight loss journey, I'm not talking about how many steps I did, or how many laps I swam in the pool, or how many calories I ate, because I think, or actually I know from past, that for me this is not the decisive factor. If I'm emotionally balanced and grounded, and if I'm feeling well, then I automatically slow down with my eating. So that's why I'm focusing so much on being outside, being at the beach, being in nature, taking walks, having me time, because I know this is the way that will lead me to less weight. Sorry, sometimes my English is still very bad. Anyway, so of course the trauma that I'm still carrying is adding to the cortisol in my body, and we know the cortisol is bad for weight loss. So it's like a vicious circle that I'm trying to break, and I haven't found the 100% solution yet, but this is where I'm working at. and I'm glad you're part of this journey. And thanks for listening, and I appreciate all your nice comments. Our little corner of the internet has reached more and more people, and I welcome you all, and thanks for being with me on this journey, and I hope you have all a wonderful week. It's Monday and I'm very, very scared of the week ahead of me, as I always am, but this is a topic for another video. Thanks for listening. Over and out.